My name's Elijah Grayling, and I'm here with the wonderful Anneke Wills.
I like the one bit. You really should.
How are you doing this weekend?
Absolutely. I really enjoy doing these conventions, and particularly American conventions, because I think you're all just so sweet.
Is this your first time to the Midwest area?
um, I'm looking at Jen now. No, she's taking no.
You went on the bus.
Yeah, no, I have been. I went on a tour of America in 1963, and I went the entire state. So I was in Minneapolis in 1963.
Wow.
Ah, that was before your parents were even born.
Yeah.
So although I look good, I'm actually really old.
Could you talk a bit about how you got the role as Pauline Dr. Who?
Okay, so at the time I was one of, I suppose I have to say, most popular young actresses on the BBC and on television at the time. So when parts came up, there was a group of us who were continually up for the different parts. So my name, of course, was put up. Actually, now we know that my name was put up before to play Susan, perhaps. I never knew that. Now it comes, the information comes. So there I was. Okay, you're going to go along to be a Doctor Who. Well, no, I knew what Doctor Who was. So of course it was like, wow, it would be amazing and probably regular work, which would be very nice. So I went off to meet them in the offices at the television centre. And by the time I got home, to my home, and the agent is calling me and saying, well, you got that. So, all right. And so, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Could you talk about the first time meeting Bill and then what it was like when he was leaving?
Yes. So, my husband, Michael Barton, he played the Celestial Troughton. So he had already worked with Bill, so he knew what he was like. That it was. You had to be careful around him because he could explode.
Yes.
So he told me to take care. So I was prepared, and luckily I met Michael Praise before I started working with Bill. So because Michael Praise and I had to have pictures taken and stuff. So we had our photographs taken, and we bonded already. We both said, "Ooh, Bill, be careful because he's a very grumpy old man." I thought, grumpy old man. I mean, he wasn't at all, but he did seem like it. It's almost as though he took on old age. So that's interesting. And so then, the first rehearsals, and he's polite, and we are in awe because here's Doctor Who, and here's William Hartnell, and we're just young actors, so we minded our P's and Q's. We just started working. But almost immediately in the very first rehearsal, he exploded. One of the things he would do is to say, no, that's not my line, you say that. And Bill, that's your line. Don't tell me.
Because I know he was a very serious actor and he took that seriously. Was there ever something that he did that, like, you and Michael might have joked around on set? Did he ever tell you guys, behave?
No, we didn't do that around here. We waited till Troughton came. That was a different story. But no, we didn't joke around. We were both young actors and we knew how to behave. Absolutely. So no, we were as professional as could be. But when rehearsals would stop because he'd had an explosion and there was some terrible argument and everything, we'd just go quietly away in the corner and hide until the coast was clear again. Yeah.
So to talk about, I watched a BBC documentary about Television Center and the different levels of like the club/bar. Could you talk about what it was like after filming, going to the bar and just having fun? What was that like?
Yes, well, actually, what happened was that we would go to the. Wasn't it terrible? But this was the era. Actors drank. So what we would do is we'd go to the bar at lunchtime, and so we would leave our little rehearsal just around the corner, jump in my little car because I had the little mini car. Patrick, Mike, and me. Oh, that was Patrick. No, not Bill. He didn't do that. It was Patrick and Mike and I who would go to the bar at the BBC. The BBC bar, because it was the most exciting place to be, because he wore these wonderful actors, directors, everybody. all in this one room. And this is he'd moved on to Patrick because Patrick would sit at the table and everybody would gather around him and he would be, you know, speaking out about politics, about theatre, about actors, about everything, because he was a very wide man. And so to be in his circle was the best place to be. And then after work, we'd finish, 5 o'clock. On the way to our homes, we would go to a pub in the King's Road in Chelsea and go and have a pint before we all went to our homes. And just kind of do a little reality check of the day and, you know, and how he thought. Because in a way, Michael Praise and I, we've leapt into, I hope you don't mind, we've leapt into Patrick's stories here. Because in a way, Mike and I were the ones who would tell him like it was, and he trusted that. He said later, you know, they were really good because I could trust them. I would say, what do you think? And what do you think? And we would tell him straight. Because we weren't like the producers, oh, he was so marvellous, darling. No, it's fine, it's wonderful. You should all come out of it. No, we weren't like that. And Michael Praise would say, well, he was a bit over the top there. So he appreciated it. And then we all went off to our homes.
So going on with Patrick,
Yeah.
he had a huge responsibility taking over the role from Bill Hartnell. When Bill was exiting the show, what was it like meeting Patrick for the first time, and what did you and Michael do to make him feel at home in the TARDIS?
Well, you know, one thing was that that we have to talk about is the filming of the regeneration. Now we call it the regeneration. So we were there in the studio because that happened before we would go. We went on with the story. So we had Bill lying on the floor. It took a long time. Actually, you know what I love is that the woman who was took the vision mixer who was told, you are now going to change one doctor into another doctor. First time this had happened. By this afternoon, we'll film that. She was, oh man, what am I going to do now? This is a massive responsibility. But then she tells the story. So she said, then I had this idea that I could, if I had them both lined up exactly the same way. So nowadays, you just could do green screen, it's so easy. Okay, and then if I bleached one out, and then that faded out, and then I could bring the other one forward, as long as their noses. So the great thing was, they both had the same shaped nose. So I got the noses exactly lined up. I could do it. But it took a long time. And Mike and I are standing, this is taking so long, the pub's going to shut. So, but eventually they got that. And Patrick and Bill were very polite with each other. I mean, it was a difficult moment for them both. Bill because he didn't want to let go of the role. Patrick because he's going to be taking over this massive responsibility, and this is his old friend. So this was a very poignant moment, you know, so wonderful. And then, but then we have to go back a little bit before because we break for the summer. We know we're going to have a new doctor, but we don't know who it's going to be. So we've got a few weeks break where it's the unknown, and there were lots of rumours, rife, you know, who was going to be this new doctor. Oh, the rumours were crazy. One of the people was Tommy Steele, who was a singer, a well-known young singer. That would have been interesting. That would have been. Might have bought him, but I wasn't too keen on it because I was already married to an old fart. Another old fart. And who was the other one? There was not. In the end, anyway. So what I love about it is that I can envisage it now because we've gone to the rehearsal room. We don't know. They haven't told us. They know, of course, the producers in the end, but we don't know. Mike and me, we turn up, and it's all like, what do we do? And then it's 9:30, and then, because he was never late, the doors swung open, and in walks little Patrick in his little red cardigan and his little Greek bag. And well, we all went, yes, you know, because in that moment, we knew that was the best choice. There couldn't have been a better choice. Because, of course, we knew him as an actor.
And he was known for radio productions, right?
Well, he had done a lot of television, classical television stories like Tale of Two Cities and so forth. And so we'd all seen him as young actors growing up. We'd seen Patrick Troughton, and he was one of our best. So here we had him, all for ourselves as a doctor. And he was immediately humble, accessible, charming, generous, wonderful to work with. And what I love is now we all get to come to these conventions and talk about Patrick, which we love to do, and we all say what an honour it was to work with him and how much we learned from him, because he was a consummate actor.
I know you also said in one of the DVD interviews that you wore a shirt that said "We miss Bill."
No, I know,
All
no,
is
you see,
forgiven.
because wait, I'm going to have a little sip here. It's lunchtime.
Yeah.
Patrick had a wicked sense of humour, and by the time we were sort of feeling comfortable and able to pull a few jokes, and so Mike and I cooked up this idea that we thought it would be a good idea to have a good joke from him. It wasn't so easy to do because in those days you couldn't just, to get a T-shirt printed was quite a trick. So I had to go down to Carnaby Street in my free time. We said what we wanted, we had it printed out, and then on the Saturday night, Friday night, when we were finished the recording, and we set it up with the guys in the studio. Okay, but just say to Patrick, wait, Patrick, don't go. Anneke might have got something for you. He said, what? And so we came out of the TARDIS, and here was the T-shirt that said, "Come back, Bill Hartnell, all is forgiven." But it fell flat. Patrick's face. Oh, he was so upset. We said, no, it's a joke, Pat. It's a joke. We're joking that, He went off into his dressing room in a huff. It was many bottles of whiskey later to make him do it. So, but going back to that moment, this is what made him such a good actor, because he was very vulnerable. He wasn't confident, and the fact that his two workmates would tease him like that, oh no, you didn't like. Later on, when he became more established and happy in the role with Fraser Hunt, the two of them would play absolutely wicked jokes, but I wasn't there to see it.
Could you talk a bit about what it's like working with Elliot Chapman, who's taken on the role as
Chapman is quite an astoundingly good actor. It was funny because I said to him, "You've got such a good ear." He said, "I haven't really. I just really work at it." So because he felt it was such a responsibility to take on the voice role of Michael Praise. So he listened and listened and listened and listened, and he just absolutely got the intonations exactly right. And he would say, interesting when he says that, he's brought a different colour. Well, you don't know because you're just working with the person. Mike at the time. So the first time we were all in our little booths in Big Finish Studio, and this is the first time ever that a companion has been played by somebody else, professionally. So we're all in our little booths, and here's the story, and Elliot comes with the first line of Michael Praise, and immediately our producer said, can we just stop? Yeah, what? She said, we've all got goosebumps here, we can't go on any further, this is so brilliant. And so I'm standing in my little booth, I've got Fraser doing Patrick Troughton, I've got Elliot doing Mike Praise, and I think, I'm back in the world of Doctor Who, amazing. And my voice, I can bring it up, say, Holly is going, no, Doctor, you can't.
That's great. And since the passing of Bill and Pat, are there any words that you wish you would have gotten to say to them before they had passed away? Anything that you wish you would have gotten to say to them?
I think we said goodbye to Bill, and that was okay. I know I said to Patrick, I love you to bits and I'll miss you forever. I know I said that. So that's all right. He knows. But the other, because I'm like this, Elijah, see, I have this other whole world going on. When they caught up with me, and I'm in Canada, and then I start, and I'm doing paintings, and I did portraits of the doctors. And so I thought, I'm going back to do a convention. I would do some prints of portraits. I'll do a portrait of Patrick Troughton. That was the first one I've ever done. So I was drawing along, and I'm rather good at it. Now, it's because I tune in with the person that, that it comes. When I finished this little pastel of Patrick blowing his little thing and his beautiful blue eyes. This is very good. I might be able to sell it. What would I ask for it? Oh, I don't know. I suppose I'd say $50. A voice comes here. $50? What? At least 100. It's my image. So I know that I'm tuned into Patrick. I also know that he loves that the whole thing of the conventions go on, and his whole thing of being the Doctor and his name is being continually spoken of. This is very magic. When we go home, we would hope that people would talk about us a lot.
Well, once again, I'd like to say thank you so much for doing this interview. It was very nice.
Thank you for
Thank you.
asking me.